enough to impress some people, enough to disappoint other people, you know.
Yeah. Patrik, can you be a little bit closer?
Closer like that, yeah.
Yes, that make your voice sound super sexy.
So that's good.
That's really good. Just always remind yourself that I'm gonna bite this one. This is really delicious. Bite it. Yeah, fine. I'm gonna bite it. But yeah, man, I was lying. I wasn't recording. Now it's recording.
Oh, cool. That's fine. So let's talk about this topic we mentioned before, or no?
Yes, of course. Yes,
no,
of course. Estonian girls.
Yeah.
Are you dating an Estonian girl or are you married to
Estonian? Already 9 years. I'm dating her and I'm married as well.
Okay.
Same one. Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
Oh, that was quite funny. I did my first tour as a guide in the Baltic states. I tried to figure out some places that time in Tallinn, and I came with an Austrian driver, and this driver has been a couple of times already in Tallinn in the same hotel where we did stay. It was the Sokosviro Hotel.
Okay.
The big one where
I know
the
that
KGB
one.
was in the upper floor in the Soviet times. And we stayed there overnight, and we had 2 nights in Tallinn. And after the first night, the next day, I had a city tour with a Estonian local guide in the old town.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to do some work to do. But the driver had nothing to do the next day. He had a free day, he had day off. And he wanted so much to go with me to a bar in the hotel and have some beer there. And I did not want. I thought, next day I have to work and I'm tired maybe. I want to go to sleep. And he, no, come with me. There's a nice bar and let's have some beer there. So we went down, but there was nobody there. It's called Amigo, a club, not a bar. Like a club, music club. Nobody there. It was totally empty. And so that's boring. I go to sleep. And he told, no, there is a restaurant up there and let's have a beer there and maybe we come back later or so. I said, okay, let's have a beer with this guide and he's happy and then I go to sleep. So we went up to the restaurant and had some beer there. And then I saw really pretty girls passing by.
One or a lot?
No, there were a couple of them.
Okay.
And it seemed that they wanted to go to this club.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, okay, maybe I really go with him to this club and check it out.
And now you're
interested. And then we checked it out. We went down and we were there maybe 20 minutes. Yeah. There were more people already there dancing. And then I saw this girl or this woman on the dance floor with her long hair, beautiful, really beautiful, dancing there. And I was thinking, I have to meet her. Definitely, I have to.
Or she was dancing by herself?
Oh, she was dancing with a couple of other girls there.
Oh, okay.
And she came from the dance floor and I just straight went to her and told her, hi, I'm Patrik.
How old were you back then?
Old, I've been too old already. How old I've been? 30 something, 37 or so?
So it was roughly a decade ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
That's like a really bold move. Just going up and say.
That was it. I was married that time, even in Austria. Had a big house there, a garden, but just left it. So I came here.
Wait, is that a joke?
No, it was no joke.
That's not a joke?
No, not a joke. No, definitely not a joke. And I remember this was in August, 17th of August 2011. And 3 weeks later, I did book a flight ticket to Tallinn again.
But you're married.
Yeah, now.
You were married back then.
Yeah, back then, yeah. Now again. And it was so funny. I came a few weeks later and that was a funny story. We did always talk about, she did write me. We did write all the time. And she did write, you're my prince, like. And then I made a joke. I was going to some company in Austria. They did rent out some stuff for playing in a theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I rented a crown, like a king crown or prince crown. And I put it on me in the airport. And when I came out, she was waiting there outside and I had the crown on me. And she was staying there and thinking, what the fuck is that? That was really funny.
Wait. Let me get this straight, Patrik.
Yeah.
You were married with another woman at that time?
Yeah, Austrian one.
What happened to that lady then?
Oh.
Did you go back and just say, "Hey, I met this really"?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like that. And
you came.
It was already our relation was not that good anymore. Obviously, at that time. And that was ending it. So we separated. I don't remember anymore. In March or something.
But you came over 3 weeks after that.
I came over. We went to Hiiumaa. We rented a house there for a couple of days, and it was coming back and going backwards to Austria. Like I was coming here once a month, and my wife Katrin, her name, she came also to Austria once a month maybe. So we met every 2 weeks. And finally, I moved to Estonia in March 2012. But moving is not right because I'm on and off all the time. Usually, I'm in Estonia maybe 3 months, 4 months. I'm in Austria a couple of months is too much maybe. But I'm in Austria also quite often. I have also a base there. I have an office there.
Okay.
And the rest of the year I'm somewhere.
Okay.
Usually. Not this year, but usually.
For those people who are listening and don't know who I'm talking to, this guy is Patrik. He's a tour guide. He lives in Estonia, and he's, as he told you guys already, like sometimes he's also not in the country. So it's like a multi-location kind of a situation going on for him. But yeah, just for the audience. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was the start. It was my start how I came here actually. It's like so many guys. I met so many experts here, guys. Either they're working in IT, I I have the feeling, or they met some Estonian girl here.
Common story.
So often, yeah. And some end up here.
Was she married at that time too?
Yes.
So both of you guys were married.
Yes.
And you found each other. You're like,
yes.
Fuck it, we gotta be together.
That's right.
Yeah. Are you guys still happily together right now?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you mean sure?
That's a very private conversation. We talk afterwards. What is sure?
Are you guys still in Hiiumaa? Do you still have a place there?
No. We have been in Hiiumaa just a couple of days. We're living in close to Tallinn actually.
Just like a holiday back then.
Yeah, it was like
it was
to
a
know
sex
each other
trip.
better, you know.
No, it was a sex trip.
That's you were saying.
It was.
That you were saying.
So now you guys live in Laagli.
Laagli, it's like a suburb of Tallinn. For those who not know it, it's quite a small place south of Nõmme.
I've been there.
Yeah, Laagli.
They have a lot of like car fixing places over
car
there.
fixing places, garden markets, building markets, stuff like that.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to live in the city? Is it because it's her place already?
The different reasons. One of the reasons is I'm close to the city and close to nature as well. I'm quite much a nature guy, so I like to be in the nature. And it's just 100 meters from the city border. It's already like a suburb. It's already another in Estonian called Vald, so like a parish. But just 100 meters from the city border, and I have a bus stop just a few hundred meters away.
Let's stop it right here. I'm distracted by your wife right now. Do you have a picture of her? I want to see. I want to see her.
Wait.
Let me hold it. I can't think of anything else right now. I like her.
Yeah. So.
Katrin?
Yeah, right.
I like Katrin.
Oh, yeah?
She's great.
That's cool.
Yeah. She's so pretty.
She is, yeah.
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 Is she way younger than you?
No.
Okay.
No, she's older than me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
She looks
But she
way
looks
younger
much
than you.
younger than
Yeah.
me.
You look old as fuck. But are you guys having a baby now together?
No.
Mm.
Katrin has 2 adult children and even a child already.
Wow.
Grandson. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have any kids?
No own kids, no.
You don't want kids?
I'm like we call it Leihoper in German language. So I speak German language as a mother language. Leihoper is like a grandfather who is like rented,
Mm-hmm.
you know, who is like not the biological one,
Yeah.
but who is like looking after the child sometimes. Like it's like that. we had a television series in Austria. It was called the Leihoper. It was about an old guy, very friendly guy. Always he was good with the children.
I know Oppa.
Yeah, Opa is grandfather.
It's actually a car brand, I think.
It's Opel, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a German car brand. It's Opa is meaning grandpa.
No, actually, there was one. And I think Honda or Toyota. They were making a new car, and they called it Oppa because it's supposed to be a good name for the Asian market. And then they were wondering why the fuck is like nobody buying it in Germany.
That can be.
Yeah, like,
nobody wants
who want to
Oppa
buy a car called like grandpa?
All the youngsters, oh no, I don't want to drive an Opa.
It was back in the 80s. They didn't do a lot of like market research.
Yeah, can be. That's a problem sometimes with the brands if they don't do like a worldwide research.
Right?
Can be, yeah.
Jesus Christ, it's so cool. But
Yeah.
do you like? You're not that old. I'm joking about you being old. You're only 47.
Like a medieval.
Yeah, like do you feel different than like 10 years ago?
No. That's a good thing in my job, I think. Most of my colleagues as well, who are even older than me, if I see them, if I talk with them, they are all very young at heart, really. I see this job is... usually only people are doing that job who are very curious, who want to explore new things, who want to be not still standing.
Mm-hmm.
And who are very flexible also. You have to be very flexible in this job. And I think
what was your schedule?
Schedule and situations. You never know what happens. What? For example, I have been in Oman once, and there was a cyclone, and everything was different after that cyclone appeared. So you have to be very flexible. You have to be very curious, and I think those people who doing that, they stay young in heart somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel for myself, I did a long time. I did do another job. It was like a boring office job. I was product manager, and if I compare myself now with 47, and let's say 15 years ago when I did that job, I feel even younger inside than that time. Mm-hmm. And I feel also fit and don't feel like old or something. Of course, I remember I've been once in a concert with a friend, and we were camping there at the concert ground. It's already 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Has happened that. And we were camping there, and there were only youngsters who have been 18, 20, 22 years old. And I was that time maybe 35.
Well, it's a music festival.
It was a music festival, yeah. And then some of the youngsters told, what is this old guy doing here? You know, that such moments can happen that I was thinking, okay, I'm not that young anymore, but what the shit happened? So
was your friend at least the same age like you?
No, she's much younger. She is 7 years younger than me.
Oh, okay. That works.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thinking, right? I also thought about like being a tour guide for like for the longest time. I really think it's something that interests me. I like showing people around. My parents came over almost every year because they want to visit me. I refuse to go back to China. They're like, okay, if you don't want to come back, we're going to go to your place.
So you haven't been in China even?
I haven't.
You're not visiting even?
Not at all.
Oh, really?
For the past 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it has.
I've been more often in China than definitely I've been
in
more
the past
often
10 years.
In the last 10 years.
In the last 10 years. Anybody who have
I can tell you how China is now.
Okay. How is it?
Oh, it's weird somehow. for me.
I
It's like
figure.
super interesting, but frightening a little bit for me. Like if I see all those
That's what I
things in the big
thought.
cities. I mean, if you see those new city districts, they are building like hell there. Like the buildings are skyscrapers. They are too close to each other. I studied regional planning in university, geography and regional planning, and we had also some urban planning lessons. And if I see those city districts, I think, I don't know how in China the people can cope with that, but in Europe it would not work out. They do the same in Russia. In St. Petersburg, there's one big area. It's looking like the Chinese cities, but the problems in 20, 30 years are already programmed. Like
What kind of problem
too
are we
close. The people are just stuck there. There's too less leisure stuff to do there. There's only like a sleeping town, very boring, very terrible looking. For me, it's like I when I'm driving there, I think every time poor people who have to live there.
So
Really.
the problem we're talking about is like the living condition of people. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Or
and
is
how
there
it
some
looks
like concerns regarding like the construction itself or the
Yeah, for me, it's I like if you have some space. Like this is what I like so much in Estonia, for example, but also in Austria. You have nature. You have place to breathe. Even if you're living in a big city like in Vienna, the only big city we have in Austria, 2 million people. You just sit in a
it was
car
a
or in
lovely
a train.
place. I liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you just sit in the tram
Yeah.
and you go up to the hills. You have wineries in the city even. You
They
go
do?
up to a hill and you look down and everything is green. I know one city in China which I really like about that. This is Hangzhou. Hangzhou on the West Lake.
Okay.
That one is a nice city because you have also the city, but you have the lake, you have the nature, you have the hills, you have the tea museum there. You have everywhere the tea
I've
gardens.
never
around.
been there.
This is a really beautiful city, and that one I like. And it's same in Austria or here in Estonia. In Estonia, I mean, there's nature everywhere. You did read the stories about the bears appeared in the city this year. You did hear? A brown bear with a young one did
I
appear in
can't
the
tell
city.
if you're joking or not.
No, it's true. There was in Ülemiste. No, not in Ülemiste. It was in not in Ülemiste. It was in Rocca al Mare. There was a bear with a young one walking around in the city streets
I'm not
in
surprised.
Tallinn. And there was
I'm not
a
surprised.
lynx a couple of years ago in Pirita, where you are living. So you show me one capital city in Europe where a brown bear, a adult brown bear, a wild one, not escaped from the zoo, is walking through the city streets. I mean, that's cool, or no? I like that.
It's strange, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I could totally see it happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was actually going back to the story about my parents. When they come over, right? I would take them all over the country.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to go anywhere else. The only purpose they came here is because of me. Like they're very, especially my dad. He's not into traveling at all. He's like,
Okay.
this is hedonism. This is like purely for pleasure. Son, you're being poisoned by the European. They're looking for pleasure. They're looking for physical enjoyment. You shouldn't be in that trap. You know.
Okay.
Tourism is one of those things.
Yeah.
He thinks. So he's not into tourism at all.
Okay.
When I asked him why, he told me like, yeah, like wherever you go, you're looking at the same thing. It's building. It's like, what are you looking for? It's building. It's built different ways. So what?
Some tourists do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what? You're telling me this is built 100 years ago. That one is 200. So what?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So the only reason they're here is because they want to see me.
Yeah.
But I force them to go out a little bit. I say, hey, like just let's go out. If you don't want to see buildings, we can go to the nature. I'll go to the Raba with you guys. We can take a walk in the bog.
Yeah.
I think somehow they changed. Like, here's the thing with my dad. He always played this tough guy character for me. You know, like, yeah, I know everything. I'm gonna teach you how to do things right. But then when we're actually in the nature, he's like, yeah, I actually like it. He wouldn't say it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't say it. He was just like, actually.
But you see it in his face.
Yeah,
or
you
how
can see it. He's actually curious. He's going around. He goes to the
Mhm.
bog water, and he's like, well, what's the color of this water? Why is
Yeah.
it so
So black.
brownish? You know,
Brownish, yeah.
right? But it was a great time. I had great pleasure showing them around. Just I don't know that much about the country. I think not compared to you, but I just tell them, hey, let's go here because I have been here and it's fun. And if you want to go skinny dipping, you can do that because there's nobody here. But I don't know. I think doing this as a profession, it's a way different thing.
Yeah, sure.
Like you are a professional, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It is different because also your clients are different. You have different tours. I do different tours. I mean, there are some people who are doing only culture tours, or some people who are doing only hiking trips, for example. I like diversity. I like to do different things. I'm a person who is always searching for something new, for something interesting. So I try to do different things, to do different destinations. For me, it would be very boring to be only a city guide in Tallinn and to walk every day, maybe twice even a day, with people around the old town and show them the same buildings and tell them the same stories. It's for me not interesting.
Yeah.
So I try really to see new places, and what I like to show the people is not just the buildings, and to tell about the history of the building. I mean, I have to do that also. And there are some clients who are very interested in these things. But what I found out, what most people like, is if they get an idea about the people here, about how the people live. I always, if I do tours, round trips, not the city tours, they are too short. But if I do round trips, I always the first day go through the bus, or I talk with the people, depends how big is the group. And I have a paper and a pen with me, and I tell, what you want to know about this place? Just tell me everything what you want to know. What is the topic what you're interested most? And then they're coming very interesting questions sometimes. But what is always coming is how do people live here? How is the social system? How are the pensions? How is the mentality of the people? How you feel if you are living here, for example, in Estonia? This is what the people are interested most, you know. And I try to give them that feeling, to tell them stories about how I, for example, how I came here.
They're even curious about the pension system, huh?
Yeah, because they somehow feel that they are very lucky in Austria. I mean, Austrian people are always complaining about everything. Oh, so bad, and this is bad. But if they start traveling and they come to other countries, then they can go home and then they feel, oh, we have so good life. Oh, so super happy they are after that, you know. No, really, I mean, it's like that. And
what do you complain about? That's the thing.
It's Austrian mentality, just especially Eastern Austrian mentality, especially Viennese mentality. Always like.
Can you give me an example? Because I really
20 years ago, everything was much better. 40 years ago, everything was much better. Everything was much cheaper. Now everything is expensive.
But you're earning more.
Of course, I always tell them. And then I tell them how much the people can afford with their average monthly income here, for example, in Estonia. I mean, Estonia is not a poor country, but if you compare it with Austria, it's not as rich as Austria. And then they are thinking, okay, we are maybe lucky, really, yeah. And if I go with people to Ethiopia, for example, and the people see how happy the people can be there with nothing, like I mean, monetary values, then they start thinking about what is really important in life, you know. So it's like. It's like interesting. This is what I like to show them, how the people living. For example, if I'm in Ethiopia, we go really into the places where the people living, not just, or we visit a school, for example, there. We see how the children are learning there, with which materials they use, and how difficult they have to learn. But they still like it. They like to go to school. They are really interested to do it. And they're so happy. They're singing there for us when you're coming, and like that. It's like it's so different, and that is what I like very much. And or for example, when I was in Ethiopia last time, there were some boys on the streets with some sticks. They were like fighting each other for fun. And I thought, let's stop here. It's interesting to see. And I went to them, and they were looking at me. They usually in some villages they never see some foreigners.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, you want to fight? Give me one stick. And I was fighting with them on the street. And they had so much fun, the boys there. So much fun they had. I could see in their eyes how they were like happy. And of course, my clients were standing around and they were also, they did like that, you know, to see.
You guys are like the true anthropologist. You go to like, you know, other people's life and you're like curious about how they live their life. I think that's like why I started my study as well.
Yeah.
I want to know how people build wooden houses here in Estonia.
Yeah.
And I just went out and find people who build wooden houses and then started building houses with them. Kind of like you fighting with those kids, you know?
Yeah. You want to meet people who build wooden houses, or you met them? Oh, yeah. I know some also, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, but I was...
Very popular here.
It's just very, how do I put it? It's kind of like... I don't know about you, but for me personally, I'm just so fascinated by people who are different from me, who live their life.
Right.
And I think it's crazy because I can't imagine a different way of living life before I come here. The only way I know is my way, right?
Yes.
When you have no comparison.
Yeah.
It's like my way is the only way and my way is the right way.
Sure,
if you do it any different, you're fucking wrong.
Yeah, and so many people try to convince you that another way maybe is the better one, and you say, fuck no. I'm convinced that my way is the right one. I know that as well. Like my family, when I moved here, for example, they were not happy in the beginning.
Why not?
I don't know. My parents, for example, especially my father, he's like the safety guy. He
Are you the only kid?
No, I have a brother, younger one, and he's living just a few kilometers from my parents.
Still,
he has a typical Austrian life.
What is a typical Austrian
life?
He
built a house. He married, built a house, found a job close by, and usually the Austrians stay there until they die, the same place. Most of them, not all of them. It's changing a little bit, but our Austrian people, usually they are very much connected with the place where they were raised up. For example, Germans move much more. They let's say they're raised up in Hamburg. They go to school there. Then they go to university to Munich.
Yeah.
Then they find a job in Berlin.
Yeah.
They're moving around all the time.
Yeah.
But Austrians, they go to school in a small place, like in the village where I was. This is like a small market town. Then they go to university, maybe to the next city, not to Innsbruck, but they go to Vienna usually because it's the closest
big city.
Then they started there. Then they either stay in Vienna or they go back to the place where they were raised up and they stay there until they die. That's the average.
Wow. Fascinating.
So somebody who is like trying to go out of the box and to go to some other places is a little bit, the people thinking he's a little bit strange, maybe.
You know, I can see that. See that.
And I know some of my friends who are now living in the same place where I was raised up. It's the same small town with 2,000 people only.
2,000.
2,000. I have to think now. 3 of my friends, my best friends, 3 of my 5 best friends, all of them did study somewhere, went back to this place and living there now. And 2 others, they went to other places. And I see it's changing your mentality, or it's not changing your mentality. If you travel a lot,
keeping it in the same place.
Keeping it, yeah. Keeping. And I see the older we get, the more different we are.
But you're still good friends.
We are still good friends, yeah. But I see if I talking about where I have been, where I have been traveling, for example, to places like Svalbard, where it's minus 20 degrees in April, and then they're thinking, what the heck he's doing there?
Oh, you have been there?
Yeah.
So cool.
And they're thinking, what the heck he's doing there?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But I see they don't understand it. And I think, why they don't understand it? It's so cool to be there, you know?
Yeah, it is.
So why always to have to stay in the same place? And I see that is really changing you. If you're traveling a lot, and I do it so much because it's also my profession, but it's also my passion. It's both passion and profession. Then you are so convinced it's the right way. But for other people, it's not the right way, maybe.
I mean, like, I'm curious, how do you guys stay as friends?
Oh, we're telling all the old stories when we have been 16, drinking together in some places, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing that's the thing I don't get, because
Yeah.
like I also have friends back home in China
Mhm.
a while ago, and it was really hard to kind of like every single time we get to talk over phone, it's always about, hey, remember in middle school we used to do this,
Yeah.
and then we talk about all the things we remember from middle school,
Yes.
and then
Then
the
it's
conversation stopped there.
stopped. Yeah.
And then we started thinking about what else can we talk about.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you about what's happening in Estonia? They wouldn't they can't relate.
Yeah.
And then they tell me about their 9 to 5 job in China. I can't relate.
Yeah.
So it's kind of making me sad, because kind of life was preserved in that hourglass. It's kind of just in the back now.
Yeah.
And that friendship is there. It's beautiful. It's kind of like those Christmas ball, you know, like
Yeah.
it's beautiful, but it doesn't grow from there. And
Yeah, that's right.
I wonder if it's a...
It's somehow similar. I mean, we're talking then about, it depends. There's different friends, and you can talk about different things. With some friends you can talk about more recent stuff.
Mhm.
With others only about the past, or you talk with them about football, or I don't know,
I see,
sports
I
and
see.
things like that, or what happened in Austria. But actually, yeah, it's a bit difficult. You are like off already a little bit. I feel that when I visit the place and we meet at a birthday party or something, I can feel that it's not so easy to connect.
Mhm.
You know, it's like you know this guy for a very long time, and you find immediately like somehow connection. But like you're telling, after 2 hours you think, okay, but is there something more or no? And what I always thinking, they never ask me how is it,
Do
how
they
you
not?
feel there.
Do they not?
I have 1-2 friends who do, but the
Uh-huh.
others no. And then I think, well,
Do you think they're afraid to ask?
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Is it out of like...
It can also be, you don't touch a topic which maybe is a little bit too difficult. I always telling my wife, Estonians are so shy. They not ask you in the first meeting, for example, usually. And I complained in the past.
Mhm.
Sometimes I still do that. They're too shy for communication. But once my wife told, but your friends in Austria did the same. They thought, okay, you're right. Actually, you know.
Mhm.
I'm always thinking Austrians are more communicative and more open, but in the end, it depends. It's not so much. I think it's a personality thing, more or less.
What does Katrin think about like the place? You guys have been to your place, right?
Yeah, many
Traveling there,
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
What does she think
Oh,
about?
she loves it. She
Yeah.
likes very much. Yeah, she likes Austria.
You guys been on
People,
ski
nature.
trip and stuff?
Yeah, we've been skiing. I did
it's
show.
beautiful.
I did teach her skiing actually.
Yeah.
Okay, she did cross country skiing before.
It's on the
And the-
ground. It's not
Yeah, but it's helping even in alpine skiing. If you did a lot of cross country skiing, you are much easier learning also alpine skiing.
Are you guys doing the two board thing? I don't know how it's called, like the traditional ski or ski board? A ski?
No, it's traditional skis,
Yeah.
not snowboard.
Okay.
You mean snowboard? No,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
never started snowboarding. I don't know. I did ski a lot when I was younger, but now very less. I did not the last 3 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But usually every Austrian, no, not every, who was raised up in the countryside in my age, everybody can ski because we had the skiing courses in school.
Mm-hmm.
We did go to the mountains for a week, and it was mandatory. So
Beautiful place. I was there last summer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
where you have been?
So cool. In Innsbruck.
Oh yeah, Innsbruck in
Yeah.
Tyrol. Yeah, it's an alpine
Wow.
area, mountainous
Wow.
area. It's very beautiful.
Amazing. It was so cool. Everything was expensive.
Oh yeah,
Everything was expensive. Especially we were driving, right?
yeah.
And right before Austria, I think we were just a couple of days before that, we're in Poland.
Oh yeah, of course, this
Yeah.
is cheap.
I
Yeah,
was on road trip, so it was like in Poland we feel like kings. We can go to the
Yeah,
restaurant,
yeah,
eat
yeah.
whatever we want. We don't even look at the price. Just hey, take everything you have on the menu.
right. Yeah,
We gotta pay for it. It's cool. But then when get to Austria, you got like, hey, how many do you have left? Like we gotta figure out how much we got budget. And we couldn't even afford like a restaurant because it was like a high season for tourists at that time.
Yeah.
All the good like reasonable places are booked.
Yes.
They only have either really expensive places, 5-star hotels, those resorts, or you have like camping ground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changed a lot. When I was younger, my parents could not afford expensive places as well. So, but we went every year in summertime 1 week to some Austrian region, mostly to the most distant region in the west, next to Switzerland.
Okay.
Which is very far from my, not very, for China it's not far, but for Austria it's far. It's
How
like
far
6 hours driving.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And so for me that was very exotic that time because the people they're speaking a very different dialect. I even can't understand very well them.
Yeah.
And it was for me very exotic. And we, my parents always rented a room in a private house. It was very popular in Austria to rent out a room. It's called Frühstückspension. You had only breakfast there.
I know, pension.
Yeah.
Great.
Frühstückspension,
Yeah.
So you're a private person and you have a private house and you can rent out, I don't know how many
Great.
rooms, 3 or 4. You give the people breakfast in the morning. And that was a cheap option. But we have this less and less. It's still existing, but at that time in the 80s, we had a lot of those places and they were cheap to stay over.
This is like the pre-Airbnb days.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Somehow, but you're in Airbnb, usually you not get breakfast. You have to do it yourself. But there you got it from the host and you didn't know the host very well. So the host could tell you what to do in the mountains, for example. He telling you, oh, today the weather is maybe not so good in the afternoon. Go to this place better and avoid that area. So that was good. That I did like that. That's an interesting kind of tourism because you get in touch with the local people.
It is.
Much more than in a hotel or something.
Ah, man, you guys figured a way out. But yeah, I saw a lot of, those camper vans? I saw
camper
a lot
vans,
of, like trailers.
Yeah.
A lot of those. And I think they stayed there for a long time.
Most of them have been Dutch, probably. Dutch or Germans.
Yeah, Germans.
A
lot of Germans. Like
we have a lot of them in Austria.
And I think they spend maybe a month there. They find like a good spot and they just park there.
Yeah.
And then they don't move. I saw they have the whole setup. Some people have those antennas for TV out.
Right.
And they have those like clothes hanging racks and everything.
Yeah, maybe sometimes they have bicycles with them or motorbikes or
motorcycles
something.
And all that.
Right. Yeah, the Austrians are not like that kind of holidays so much. There are some people, but not many. I don't know many. But Dutch people are very, very into it. I don't know why. And they stay 1 month in southern Austrian canton, Carinthia, on a lake, and they stay there for the whole time in holidays. I was wondering also, because we have so many people who come every year for 30, 40 years already to the same village. Then they get some golden, how is it called? Like something on what they can stick on their pullover,
Sticker?
Sticker, yeah. They get some kind of a celebration in front of all the other tourists. Then is coming the mayor of the town. And there's coming the music group, and they play, and all the people who have been already 30 times to the same village, then they get this golden sticker.
So it's like rewarding them for such loyal customers.
I remember when I was a child and I was with my parents in those mountain places, there was all the time these kind of celebrations, and mostly older, elderly German people who were already really many, many years in the same village. And I was thinking, it's so boring always to go to the same place, but it's very...
They find pleasure in it somehow.
People are different.
Yeah. What place would you recommend for somebody never been to Estonia to go to?
Ida-Virumaa.
Yeah?
Because even Estonians usually avoid this area. Some of them never go there. Ida-Virumaa is the most eastern part of Estonia on the border to Russia. And there are, I think living 60% Russian-speaking people. It's also one of the poorest regions in Estonia. A lot of industrial areas. This oil shale industry is there, so a lot of pollution. People think about that more. The negative things all the time are in the media also. But I have been in Ida-Virumaa in June for 4 days. I stayed there 3 nights, and I enjoyed it massively. It was so nice. I saw a brown bear in the forest.
You was brown bear.
Yeah, another brown bear. It was very funny because I rented a car, a big one, like a SUV, big one. I wanted to sleep in the car in the forest.
Nice.
And I did that. So I did drive. It was not illegal actually. It was a legal forest road, but very far away from any place where somebody was living. So I was going there. I found a place. I stayed there. I was sleeping in the car. And next morning, I did wake up. During the night, I had to go do my things, you know.
So it's not with clients. You're just...
No, I was alone there.
Oh, okay.
And so I left the car also in the night sometimes. And then in the morning, I did wake up and I sit in my car and I start driving. And some 300-400 meters from the place where I did stay overnight, I saw a big place, open place. The forest was cutted there some years ago. And I thought, I have to watch out here. Maybe I see some animals. I had my big camera, my big lens with me. It was on the seat next to me, and I watched out, and maybe 2 seconds, and I thought, oh my God, that's a bear. That's really a bear. And he was only 60, 70 meters from me. And I was thinking, no way. And I did try to find my camera. I was shaking, really. I was shaking when I saw this guy. And this bear was not just standing there. He was on his back feet. He was like up, you know. And he was checking me out because he did hear the car. Because they see very bad, but they can hear very well. And I took my camera, and at the same moment when I had my camera ready, the bear went down. So I got a picture, but it's very shaken. It's not close. And that was an instant kind of excitement for me very much.
That's really cool.
I did like that. This is in Niederwirma. You have this opportunity. And also...
Is it a grown bear?
Sorry?
Like a baby bear or grown?
No, it was a grown one, a male bear, because he was alone. And at that time, usually there are males. But also the beaches are brilliant there. The coastline, these steep cliffs.
Yeah.
They have a lot of interesting manor houses with nice parks around there. Narva is actually nice. The castle,
place. Yeah,
and the new promenade there. It's really beautiful there.
I have 2 places in mind I want to go to in Idaviruma. I heard of them, but I have never been to. I've been to Narva twice.
Yes.
Once in the winter, once in the summer.
Yeah.
It was I don't know where to go. You know, I only went to the border area. I climbed up that little tower over there on the border. And I went down to the river where separate Russia was Estonia. But besides that, I was like too afraid to go into to the city and explore by myself. I was like, nah, I don't want to get into trouble. But there was
I found some very friendly folks there actually.
I think so too. I think nowadays I wouldn't mind, but back then I was like fresh off the boat, you know, like
sure. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, but I have 2 places I really want to go. I want to go to Narva, Joensuu. Yeah, I think they have a great beach over there.
It's a nice beach. Yeah,
right.
That's right. Yeah.
I know a lot of Russian come over to vacation over there.
Yeah, it's always Russian there. You hear very, very little Estonian there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And I want to go to this place called Sillamäe.
Sillamäe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's even more. That's even less Estonian there.
Yeah, I saw they have some nice picture of this promenade going all the way towards the seaside.
That's right.
There's like old houses from the Soviet time, like well arranged, like on the both side of the road. I think that was it looks like a movie set.
It is. It's a Stalinist. It was in Stalinist time. It was built in the start of the 50s. It was a closed down. Even Estonians were not allowed to go there.
Oh, really?
No, it was closed down until the early 90s. And it's...
What do you mean by closed down?
Closed down, it was off limits. Nobody could visit it. Only people who were living there or who had a special permit.
Nice.
Also, the islands were closed for people.
It's kind of
even Estonians could not visit it.
It's kind of like that.
Easily, let's say. They could.
That city in the movie Tenet.
Yeah, I saw that movie yesterday, by the way.
You did?
Yeah, yesterday evening.
They have a code name, like something 168.
That's Lask 12.
Yeah.
It was, exactly. And it was this hidden, this closed town in Russia where everything happened. We had some of those towns here also, and Sillamäe was the most important one.
The reason is because they're producing things for the...
Yeah, also like radioactive stuff in Sillamäe. And It's very interesting, but go there next year. This year, there's a lot of construction work now.
I see.
But it's very interesting to see that. And
Are
it's
people
like
still living there? Like
around 17,000 people.
I mean, in that promenade where there's
Yeah.
Stalin.
Yeah. It's a lively city. There are many people around, many young people even. It's very Russian. It's also what I like so much. It's in Estonia, you have so different regions in such a small country. If you go to some Western Estonia, very deep countryside, you have the classical, deep Estonian rural area with the people who are just based there, connected with this area.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go, for example, to Peipsijev, to the lake, and you go to some villages, they even look very different, because in most of Estonia, the houses are built 200 meters from each other. They don't like to live so close, or they did not live so close each other. But you go to the Peipsijev, they are living the so-called old believers.
Yeah.
They were refugees from Russia, came 250
it.
years ago. And they're living in villages, each house is built next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
but it's not connected, they're just close.
Yeah, they are. And like street villages. And like in Russia, it looks like in Russia, like with wooden houses. But the people are living here already long time, so they're very well integrated.
Mm-hmm.
But different customs, different food, different traditions. Then you go to Setomaa. You heard about that? It's in the south and east part.
Yeah.
Again, very different culture, different way of living. The villages look different again.
What do you mean by that? How different?
For example, this is like a combination of Russian and Estonian customs and traditions. Also, the villages are more like in Russia than in Estonia usually. But the people speak in kind of an Estonian dialect, Seto. They're Orthodox Christians, not Lutheran or agnostic or atheists like most Estonians. They're quite... most of them are really religious Orthodox Christians, but still they are not Russians. And then you go to Narva or to Sillamäe, and you're thinking you are in Siberia, in some Russian city. So it's very different.
I mean, I heard about Seto people, right? And on books and people talking about it. But when you were there?
I've been there a couple of times, yeah.
Do you notice it? Like, actually, like, with your eyes, do you notice the difference? Like, if you weren't told about the difference, like, before?
You notice it different how the houses look like, how the villages look like. In the people, I think if you go there not at a festival or something where they have their traditional clothes, you would not notice probably.
Yeah, that's a different
You would not notice probably. If you're Estonian, you definitely notice because you speak a different kind of Estonian. It's Southern Estonian and it's very different how they talk. If you're foreigner and you're not so good in Estonian, you'll probably even not recognize that so much. But what is very interesting there, for example, for everybody, I think, is if you want to visit a village called Saatse, it's in Setomaa, and you go by car there, you twice cross the Russian border. And you don't have to show your passport.
I'm not allowed to do that.
Yes, you're allowed to do that. You can do that. You are going to Saatse from Värska, where they have the mineral water. I'm sure you saw already.
Yeah.
And the road twice crossed the border. There's a sign which is telling you don't leave the car. It's not allowed to walk there, just to drive, and you're not allowed to leave the car. And you drive over Russian territory twice.
What if I have a flat tire?
And then you fucked up, probably. No,
got a flat tire in Russia.
But then you have really bad luck because the first segment is just maybe 100 meters long. The second one is 1 kilometer. So there it might happen. And so 1 kilometer, you're driving in Russian territory. Because, the borders in Soviet time, that did not matter.
Are there guards there?
I did not see any, but I heard that there are Russian guards who are checking out sometimes. Yeah.
I would not want to have a flat tire over there.
But it's cool, eh? You know, now I'm in Russia and you don't have to show even any document. And then you come to Estonia again. And there's also a border which can be used only by Russians and Estonians usually.
Patrik, hold that thought. Let's get a coffee break and then come back.
Yeah. Fine. Okay.
I don't know, man. Like, to be honest, I think it's really interesting you mentioned that breaking out of the comfort zone thing. Like, I think coming here, I don't know. Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
I think actually it's really fun because for me, coming here is a comfort zone. I was extremely uncomfortable back home.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, am I doing the courageous thing? I don't know. People keep saying like it's so cool, dude. You're coming here, you're ditching all your life. I didn't have a life back home.
I see.
If I did, I wouldn't come here.
But why you did choose Estonia? You did not choose Estonia in the first place, right?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't choose it. I was in Japan and I fell in love with this Estonian girl, and I was like, okay.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Again, the girl thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So often it's the girl the reason here.
Yeah, I wouldn't just like. Actually, it's interesting because I had 3 options to go for my master's degree.
Yeah.
I was doing my international relations bachelor's in Japan, and I don't want this. I was doing my international relations degree in Japan, and I finished it. Was about to finish, and I look on the map. I say, "Hey, you know what? I want to give Europe a shot. I want to see what's up over there."
So you have been first time then in Europe? Haven't been before, or?
Yes, I was in Italy, in Siena, for half a year.
Okay.
I was there studying a little bit of philosophy and history and all that.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
No?
I hate the food.
The Italian food you hate?
I hate
Really?
Italian food.
That's interesting. Most people
they
love
all
it.
taste the same to me. Everything, even if it's not pizza or pasta, they all taste like pizza or pasta.
Okay, yeah.
I
love it. I like Italian food. I've been in Venice just a short time ago.
Yeah.
And I just think, the food is so good there.
This is a good time to visit Venice, isn't it?
It was, yeah.
It's pretty
was brilliant.
empty.
It was brilliant, yeah. Less people.
I don't know. I narrow it down to 3 countries I want to go to for my master's degree. Is Estonia,
Yeah.
Croatia,
Okay.
or Slovenia.
Okay. Have you been there in both?
Never.
Never Croatia, never Slovenia?
Never.
Both are very nice. I like, because you have everything there. You have culture, you have beautiful mountains, especially Slovenia. Croatia, not so high the mountains, and you have the sea, and the sea there is brilliant. It's beautiful.
That's exactly. You see how
so
calculated I am? I found out all this when I was looking for a place.
Yeah.
I was looking for things on the internet. The first thing I don't want to go, first place I don't want to go is any major European country.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to the UK. I don't want to go to Germany. No offense to Austria. It's a beautiful place. I don't want to go there.
Oh, it's nice you say Austria is a major European place. You must be the only one who's telling that.
200 years ago was super major.
Yeah, that's right. But if you like Austria and you don't want to go to Austria, but you like the sea as well, then go to Slovenia, because it's like little Austria with the sea.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Austria.
It's Austria mixed with Italy to me.
Yeah, and you have a very short shoreline only. I think Slovenia has only 50 kilometers maybe, but you have sea.
And I think last year I also, on the road trip, I've been to Slovenia for the first time. And I think it might be a place I would really recommend to people who have never been to Europe, because it's not a traditional first choice touristy
It's like
place.
a hidden gem somehow, yeah.
It is. It's super
true.
clean.
Yeah, it is.
It's super organized.
Absolutely. It's sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
No worry, but it was there's no tourist trap.
No, yeah, that's right.
And you still get those like really medieval feel. Sometimes they have like old castles on the hill.
Many, yeah.
Beautiful, and people are super nice for some reason.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And you go to the gas station, always free toilet. That's a big plus for me. Like if I go to the gas station, before Slovenia was Slovakia. Sounds similar. Very different place.
Okay.
Slovakia was not Slovenia.
No, it's different. Yeah,
It was way different.
Yeah. But you went from Slovakia to Slovenia through Austria or through Hungary?
I think through Austria.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't go to Hungary at all. Very different, dude. Like the gas station there charge you for peeing. Like when I was on the highway, the cops would stop your car because you have a different Estonian number plate. They will fine you, but yes, I got fined twice over there.
In Slovakia.
Yes, I know it's like legally speaking, I was supposed to buy one of those vignettes allowing
that's right,
you
for
to
the
travel.
motorway. Yeah.
But I think I was targeted.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I think I was targeted for some reason. Both fine was 50 euro. It was horrible.
Oh yeah, if you have this kind of experience, then you don't like it country anymore so much. I know that. Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Is that?
It's fine.
I have to switch it off.
No worries. It's totally fine. We're chilling. You can even pick it up actually.
Oh no, it's cool.
But Slovakia.
No, it's fine. Actually, I like Slovakia even. And I had some similar experience in Spain when I was very young, when I was 19, going by train there, and they ripped me off twice there. And I told myself I never go to Spain again. And now I love it, by the way. I really like Spain very much. So I changed my mind after some time, but Slovenia is beautiful, and it was part of the Austrian Empire a long time, so it's similar to Austria. The landscape is similar, and they have beautiful nature, and the people are nice. We even have a Slovenian minority in Austria in the southern part.
Oh, really?
We have villages where the people speak Slovenian in Austria.
That's nice, man.
And where they learn Slovenian in school even, and like that. And
Austria is not bigger by size, land size, compared to Estonia, right?
Oh, yeah, it is. It is twice the size of Estonia.
Twice the size?
Yeah.
Wow.
Around a little bit less than twice the size of Estonia. But we have 6 or 7 times more people. Like we have in Austria 9 million.
Does since Kattering like Austria, how come you guys settled in here, not in Austria? Was there a conversation about that?
Because for me, it was much more easy to stay here and work from here, because it doesn't matter if I fly from Vienna to China, or if I fly from, or let's say Iceland, or if I fly from Tallinn to Iceland and start my tours there. It doesn't matter. She had her job here,
but it does matter. You have to transit one more time.
No, I fly. Yeah, if I go with the people from Vienna airport, like I do sometimes when I go to overseas, yes. But for example, if I do tours in Iceland, I go to Reykjavik, or the airport is called Keflavik, and I wait there for my people in the airport. So you guys
meet over there at the destination.
Yeah, right. So it doesn't matter. And she had her base here, she had her job here, her children, they were adults already at that time, but still. And so it was more easy for me to come here than for her to go there. But actually, now in Corona times, and I have no real job now. That's a problem now with tourism, you know.
That's nice.
It's really bad. But still, you know, sometimes it's okay. Some new situation, and you have to be flexible. But I'm thinking now, at least for this time when all this Corona stuff is still going on, that I settle to Austria. I go to Austria again, and I stay there longer time, and I try to find a job there. It's more easy for me to find some interesting job there than in Estonia.
But is she going to go with you?
She's thinking about, yeah. It's like this kind of living how we have and how I have. It's not like the traditional way. You're staying in one place and you are like all the time there. I'm like all the time on the move. All the time I'm moving around. It's like very different. It is
not the best choice at
what the people don't understand. And now at the moment it's very difficult.
Yeah.
And that is what about Estonia. I really like the country very much, and
Why?
To check out so many different areas.
What do you like? Tell me.
I think the number one is the clear sky, the clouds. If like a day like today, yesterday it was raining a lot. We have a lot of wine. Wind.
Yeah, you did. You did.
I had a lot of wine yesterday, but we have a lot of wind.
Red or white?
It's windy. And you just watch out how the sky, how clean, how clear it is, and how how beautiful the clouds are here.
I love it.
the sky is marvelous here. I love the nature here really very much. But what I miss a little bit here is, for example, if I'm in Austria, I can go one day to Vienna, which is really big city, like a world metropolitan, like a really some place where you can dive in and you can stay there 1 week and have interesting experiences all the time. If you are in Tallinn 2-3 days, yeah, but then it's like somehow a little bit the same all the time. The next day you go to the mountains. The next day you go to Burgenland, where it is looking like in Hungary. And you have so many different things. What you have here is the sea, what I really like a lot, because we have no sea in Austria. But it's for me like all the time. When I'm in one place too long time, I really like to go to the other place. So for me, it's fine to go there, back, there, to some other place all the time. But for most people, it's difficult. That all the time moving around, all the time you're on the traveling.
I like that. I think having that options of another, like a home base, make you appreciate that one spot more.
That's right.
You know,
I appreciate Austria much more since I'm not living there anymore.
Because you don't feel like I have to be here. It's a choice now.
Actually,
yeah,
it's right.
It feels the same about going to school here. I remember growing up all the time. It's like school feels so bad. I want a holiday, and when the holiday comes around, I want the school, and it has to have this balance. You can't just keep going at one thing.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. I like it. I like it here too. Not because of the sky. I like it here because it's like the total opposite of China.
Yeah.
Like everything here is like the total opposite.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right.
Like the nature is very different. The people. Yeah, they're white, but I mean, like, also mentality-wise, it's very different.
Yes.
I like here, like, I'm 28 right now, right?
Yeah.
And I still want to go out. I still want to meet new people.
Yeah.
And how we meet new people here, how we interact with people here it's a very different dynamic, at least, like, for me. It's...
You meet Estonian people here, you mean, or more expats, or how is it if you're going out?
I don't have a preference, but normally I go to places in Delhi Skivi area where there's a lot of cafes and
it's a cool area
and nice places to hang out, and they have quite a few events. These days I'm doing a lot of stand-up comedy performance. So I would say mostly Estonian locals these days, but in uni, like, you see more foreigners for some odd reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I'm... how do I put this? I never really thought about it specifically, but I think meeting people here, you don't have much expectation. It's refreshing. I like that. People look at you, you're like a zoo animal. Like when you go to the zoo, you see elephant. You don't expect anything from the elephant. You're just here to have a good time.
Yeah, right.
It's the same for people I met here. They look at you, they're like, I don't expect anything from this Chinese guy. If we hit it off, if we have a good time, if we like each other, good. If we don't, no bad feeling.
Yeah.
But back home, I feel like I left home when I was like 19, 20, so it was a really early age as well. But back then, I feel like there was a lot of expectation. People were interacting with me only for those purposes.
I see, yeah. Yeah.
And I really didn't like that. Everything is structured in a way that you're serving a purpose. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
If you have no meaning, no value to us, I'm not going to talk to you.
I see.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's. I think it's also about the philosophy, which is different. Like, you have this in China, very much this philosophy about you're part of the whole. You are like you're not so much an individual, but you're like part of the whole thing.
I would disagree with that, actually, Patrik, because I think here the sense of community is stronger.
but the expectations are higher maybe there, that you are conformist a little bit, that you not do your own thing so much, so but you are like doing something for the, let's say, for the group, for the country or something.
No. I would disagree respectfully.
Yeah,
Let's
No,
talk
it's fine.
about it.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
talk about it.
interesting.
For me, I think it's more contract. It's more like a contract between individual and individual back home. So I'm giving you something, you give me something in return. It's a mutual beneficial thing, but it's very calculated.
Yeah.
You gotta give me some value, and based on how much
Yeah.
you give me, I give you some back.
Yeah, I see.
But it's very individual based. The sense of group, I don't feel it.
Okay.
I don't feel like I have a higher purpose than just getting something for myself, and in exchange for that service or value I get, I give you something back.
Okay, yeah.
It's all like one person to one person, one person to one person.
Uh-huh.
But here, there are people doing things just for the community.
Uh-huh.
I don't do it for myself. Sometimes I see people picking trash. There's this National Trash Collecting Day,
Yeah.
and people actually go out and pick up trash on Pirita beach.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen often back home. At least I wasn't a part of that. I'm pretty sure there are people doing that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
Here there's just, I don't think there's this one-on-one kind of exchange going on. Not really. Sometimes, like when you come out, what do I give you? I don't give you shit. You're not getting money for this podcast.
That's right. Yeah.
But you're coming out anyway.
Yeah.
I think maybe the only thing you get is like a great experience.
Have a good time.
Yeah, that's a
Learn to
thing.
know each other, some interesting person. But you think in China that would not happen like that so much?
It would not.
They would immediately ask,
you would
"Oh,
not
I get
come-
something from that or something."
You would not come out.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
You would not come out because of the uncertainty. It's
yeah.
like you don't know if you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's an investment into the uncertainty.
Yeah, sure.
And investment are only done to a certain result back home. That's how I feel. Like I don't want to lose my investment. Either it's time, energy, money, whatever it is. It has to profit me for sure.
Yeah.
Or at least for fairly certain.
Yeah,
Right.
I think this is here different. That's right.
Here, people are willing to invest in something that is uncertain. Like, hey,
Yeah.
let's see how it goes. You never hear Chinese talking about, let's see how it goes. If somebody say, let's see how it goes, it's going bad.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I think we have this kind of people here in Europe. I would talk about that generally in Europe. Estonians have a little bit different mentality to Austrians, but compared to Chinese, probably we are very similar again. You know, it's not so different.
Yeah.
There are also people in Europe who are thinking, okay, I don't know, better not. But we have many people who are thinking, yeah, let's try out, let's do something new.
We're not saying, I'm not trying to stereotype anybody. I'm just saying, like, based on my personal observation or people I've been hanging around with, I'm fairly sure there are people who are willing to get on my podcast in China. But it's just, you know.
Yeah, I know. Stereotypes are always bad, I know, but
just percentage-wise.
Yes, sometimes they have some.
It give you an idea.
Ways,
yeah, it give you an idea. But I've been here like shorter than you, right? I came here 2015. You got here 2012.
Yeah.
So has it changed? Do you still see yourself like staying here way longer?
Yeah, it depends very much how are the circumstances. You know, like if this Corona year not would appear that year, I would still do the same like last year, like 2 years ago, like 3 years ago. I would not question about maybe move to Austria, find a job there now for some time.
Like job, you're talking about a different
one. No, tourism is dead at the moment, or let's say they're
dead. Wow,
not dead. It will it will reappear. But at the moment, there's almost no tourism. There's for that what I do. There is no market at the moment. Nothing.
Really?
Zero. We have. I had this year 2 tours.
Nice.
I was working twice in 1 year until now. So nothing to do. People are afraid to stay home. Even it was possible to travel sometime, but they do it individually usually only now. if to travel. And this kind of traveling at the moment is like that.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, if this is over, it will restart again, I'm sure. But for the time being, I have to do something else. It's not possible to wait until the time of getting better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not the reason because I don't like Estonia anymore so much or something. It's about the circumstances. But what I also feel is that I'm here now 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I also feel a little bit like I want to do something else
Mm-hmm.
also.
I see.
Again. It's about my personality. It's not about Austrian or mentality or something. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
about
yeah,
me because I'm
definitely.
always this kind of person who like to do something new, to explore something new. And it's the same like with a job. If I do something too long time, I want to do something new.
Yeah,
It's always the same.
I like that. I really like that. I mean, like, I'm about to graduate. I'm asking for your advice as somebody who is like more experienced in this world. I'm going to graduate next year, right?
Yeah.
I'll have a doctor degree that is useless.
Okay.
It's not the kind
Why
of
should it be useless?
it's not the kind of doctor you can save life with. It's a doctor of anthropology.
I understand.
Useless degree, unless I find a teaching job in university, which is
Yeah.
not easy because I still want to hang around in Estonia for a couple years.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of anthropology positions here.
Yeah.
They're taken up by my supervisor. I don't want to compete with my supervisor.
Yes.
So I think next year I will have a useless doctor degree. People will call me Dr. Wu or Dr. Pinchang if they're nice enough. But I have to find something to do.
Yeah.
And I hate 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I tried it this summer and the summer before. I can't do it. I just have you done 9 to 5, right? Like
I've done that
corporate job.
I've done that more than 10 years.
Corporate job, right?
More than 10 years, yeah. I was working as a product manager, and I would say I did it 5 years or 5 or 6 years. I did like it. I had some projects which have been interesting for me, and after 5 or 6 years I thought I don't want to do that all the time, all my life. And then I started to search something new, and I found this guiding thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I started guiding next to my regular job, and I really fell into it. Like I did like it so much, and I started then my own business. I have also the license to have a travel agency. I did my own tours, but I did not quit my job and do something else that time. But I did add it to my regular job in the beginning and to look if I like it. But for me, this 9 to 5 job, to be honest, is also not what is my goal. If I think now I have to find some job, and maybe I have to take this 9 to 5 job for half year, 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
But even I feel inside, if I think about it, I even feel inside like I don't like it. I want to have some flexible job, something interesting. But if you are this kind of person, you think, I don't like this 9 to 5 job, then you definitely have to find something else. Don't do the 9 to 5 job. You will be very frustrated after 2 years. Yeah.
I was miserable there for months.
Yeah.
I was just so unhappy. And it's not about the 9 to 5. Like, I work more, actually, on my own. On things interested me, I can work 12, 18 hours.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
Same.
It's not about, like, a long working hour. 8 hours is nothing.
Yeah. For me, same. I don't care about the hours. I don't care if it's weekend or if I like something. If I like the thing I do, I can do a lot, and I can do it many hours. I don't look at the watch and think, oh, it's already 5 o'clock. I have to go home or something. No, that's not the point. I think it's what I experienced in my life. I had some jobs already, and I found exactly that job what I really love. Really, if I do my job usually. Not always. There are sometimes also groups which are very difficult situations, and I'm somehow tired when I come home. But usually, if I come back after a tour, for example, to Iceland, I always have after that much more energy than before. show me a job where you have after the job, where you did work every day, let's say 8 days, every day from the early morning until the evening, and you come home and you have more energy and you feel much better than before.
I don't know. Tell me.
So for me, that's that's the optimum. That's the best what you can have. That's the the thing where you're really thinking, okay, I found it. I found exactly the job what I like, and I earned much less money than before. When I had my old job in the product management, I earned like double. I had double income of now what I had, but I didn't give a shit because for me it was so much better. The experience was so much better, and I did exactly what I did like to do. So I'm feeling sad for those people who are running only after the numbers on the bank account, and they're frustrated about the job when they come home. Shit, I have to go next day again to this workplace, and I don't like it. But okay, the bank account is nice. For me,
it is nice.
For me, yeah, for me it doesn't count so much. But it's personality stuff again. If you can combine it, like both is perfect. It's of course.
Well, that would be ideal world. Yeah.
That's the ideal world, but the ideal world is sometimes an illusion.
I mean, like I work in this startup company.
Yeah.
In the summer, there's a lot of good startups here.
Yeah, there are.
It's popular.
Yeah.
And they're treating people very nicely. I'm not saying anything bad about them. They're trying to do the best for their employees, make them happy. There are massage chairs. They have like free lunch and
cool.
Yeah, you got free lunch. You got like all those. Nowadays it's not free lunch. They have like those Wolt. They got this delivery service here, right?
Yeah.
They give you Wolt credits.
Okay.
So you get to buy whatever you want to eat, deliver to your work office and all that, and you got like sports compensation and also.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's an Estonian startup company.
Yeah, and it's a really good treatment for the employees. I have no bad thing to say about that. But like you said, like the compensation or the thing you get from the job, it's not supposed to be material for me. Like I want to get satisfaction out of the job. If you're just treating me super good, thank you, but no thank you. I don't come here for the free lunch, right? Yeah. I cook pretty okay too. Maybe not as good as, I don't know, those sushi I get from Plaza, but still, they're edible. I can eat my own lunch if I have to. I need satisfaction, man. And also, like, I'm very selfish. Like, working for a company, who's getting the credit?
Yeah,
the founder.
That's a good point. What I do, I'm self-employed, but I'm hired by big agencies, usually in Austria. Most of the tour groups, what I'm doing are with Austrian clients, except the city tours in Tallinn, which I'm doing for Estonian companies. But so still, I'm working for some company, but I'm self-employed. I can tell no, I don't want to do this tour, or I do it for another one. So it's my decision to do that. And if I'm working with the people, in the end, I always think it's my tour. Those are my clients. I want to satisfy them. And if they are leaving in the airport and I see in their eyes that they did enjoy it really, and they write me after an email and telling it was the best tour they had,
that's the same.
Then I'm motivated. Then I like it, and then I feel that's really the job I like, and this is giving me a lot. And now in the Corona times, I sometimes read those reviews. I read them, and then I remember again, okay, that's really something I like to do.
Like,
that's what I want
to think about it. Like, they remember you. They don't remember who is the company that hired.
They're asking even in the company, please let me know next year the tours which are guided by Patrik. Or very often they write to the agency, I want to do that tour, but only if Patrik is the guide. So then I'm thinking, that's cool. That's giving motivation. Then you like your job usually.
It's not only an ego trip. It's a little bit about ego for me. I mean, but mostly I think it's about that personal connection, that recognition. Like, hey, I did this work. So somebody tell me I did a good job. Like, I like that feedback. It keep me going. And also there's like a bigger picture over there that is like, I have made some personal connection. Maybe I can become friends with those
Absolutely.
people.
You mentioned now the word work.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I even don't think it's work.
Mm-hmm.
It's for me, it's of course it's a job, but for me the word job is somehow, I like it more than work, because work for me, it sounds like difficult, like you have to put effort in it, and it's maybe not
You have
nice.
to suffer.
Suffer even, yeah.
Yeah.
Work is for me like suffer. Job is, it can be nice or not nice. You have a good job, nice job.
Yeah.
But for me, my job is not really work. It's like something I really like to do, and I enjoy it really a lot. And the people, very often the people tell me, I like how you do it because I feel you like what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. You got that commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if like you're a client and you feel this guy likes what he's doing, you get this impression, you get this feeling, and what you told before is very right. You get connection to people. I found some friends with those groups, with this job. I still communicate a lot with them, and I try to do that even more in the future. I see now when I have no tours, I even miss that so much. I just yesterday I did write again to some clients. How are you? Maybe we meet in Vienna for a coffee next time when I'm there. One very good friend told me last week, try to use that time now. You have the time. Try to use it more even to be connected with those people. And it's really true. You get a reward out of it. And I think if you feel that connection with the people in your job, whatever you're doing, you will like your job.
I think so too.
Quite sure.
I think it's just that. When you're working in a company, you're anonymous. Like, I'm doing job, but I want to... I'm a simple guy, right? I don't... And people keep telling me, yeah, like, we got working a team and then we're helping millions of clients because it's in the computer, it's on the internet. I don't touch those customers. I can't shake their hand.
Yeah, same.
I don't know who are they.
Same with me, yeah.
Yes, I know we're serving millions of customers. Cool. Did I get to see any of those?
Yeah, right.
No.
Right. Yeah.
I'm doing the job with amongst all my colleagues, 1,000 of them, serving millions of people, but not a single person I can call a friend. Not a single person I can say I have a connection with.
Right. Yeah, and when I saw you on television in this breakfast, what is Saade in
Hommikanuga.
Yeah, like this breakfast program. I saw you have charisma, definitely a lot. So otherwise I would not write you, because I feel this. Usually I'm quite empathic, so I see how people are. That's some advantage maybe I have, and I can use that in my job very much. And I think for you it's very important also to work with people, really contact with them. If you are working behind your computer all the time, you will be frustrated after some time. Same like with me. And I can imagine like you are like more the guy who want to do his own thing, like something, his own ideas, and maybe you have your own company where you can really do what you like and not always what somebody else telling you.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm really... It's such a small place in Tallinn, and I don't want to... I don't want to do anything big. I just want to... I don't know. It maybe sounds a little bit pretentious, but I really want to do something that is of value to people that I can meet.
Yeah.
I want to have a place where I can have a group of people where like they're like, oh, without this guy, I think life wouldn't be this good. Life would go on, but it's better with this guy around.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that essential guy where like a lot of people like, hey, we depend on you. No, like that's too much pressure. But I want to do something like, for example, tour traveling. Like it's a good addition to your already good life.
Yeah, sure.
It's making life better for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that thing, man. Like,
that's a good thing, because I always telling that I have a job where people usually have good mood and they think about that in a positive way.
They're waiting for you.
I could not imagine I work somewhere in an office where like in a call center where the people all the time complaining and I have to help them. It's not the job what I would like to do somehow. I don't know.
Just a sudden change of topic. I remember you were talking about Svalbard.
Yeah.
I watched so many documentary about that place.
Yeah, go there. It's easy. You can fly to Longyearbyen. It's the northernmost airport in the world.
I really want to go.
And you are in another world. If you're landing there, you step out of the airplane and you're thinking you are totally in some very strange place.
How many times have you been there?
Once only.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was April 2017, I think, or 17.
How long did you stay?
Just 4 days. It's fucking expensive. It's extremely expensive. I've been in the cheapest hotel. The place, there are not many options there. I have been in the cheapest one. I had my own room, okay, but I had a shared bathroom, and I did pay more than €100 per night.
For a room with no bathroom?
Yeah, more than €100.
I know they have two settlements though. One was the Russians and one was the Norwegians.
They have now 3 settlements.
Yeah.
One, the capital town is Longyearbyen. They're living some 3,000 people. Then there is another Norwegian one, Ny-Ålesund, which is the northernmost. They're living 50 people. And one settlement, which is a mining town, a Russian mining town, which you're meaning, I think. It's called Berensburg. And I did go to this place with a snow scooter. It's around 50 kilometers from Longyearbyen. And it was kind of experience of a lifetime. I never will forget that. It was with a Norwegian guide. He was a military guy and a very tough guy, you know. He was driving in front and I was driving with the snow scooter, and then 2 Norwegian girls behind me, also clients. And we came into a snowstorm in the middle on the way. A very heavy snowstorm, nothing to see anymore, and I lost the guy in front of me. He was too fast in one point, and I could not see him anymore. And there was, if you are in Svalbard, it's like a snow desert, and there's a snowstorm. You don't see anything. You don't know which direction you have to go. And I was stopping, and I thought, I hope this guy find me again, because I can't find him. And the girls behind me, one pushed me even. She could not brake and pushed me in the back. And then those 30 seconds or maybe 1 minute until the guy came back, I can tell you that was not a nice experience.
You
but
could
it was
die.
cool.
You could die.
Definitely There's nobody. There's nobody. There are 3,000 polar bears. They will have a feast after. They will like it if you are there. But no, it is a very strange experience. And then we came to Berensburg, and you're thinking you're in Soviet Union in the 1960s. There is Lenin still standing there.
Is it possible to stay overnight in that Russian settlement?
Yes, you can do that. It's very, very interesting. And on the way back, we did go another way through a valley, and the sun came out. It was beautiful. It was brilliant. And I stopped for a photo because I could see very far. So the guy was driving in front of me, and he was already some 500 meters in front of me, but I could see him 3 kilometers maybe. So I stopped for a photo. I stopped and made a photo with my phone. And I started driving again, and after some kilometers we met, and the guy was very angry with me.
Why?
He told what I did was very dangerous because there are so many polar bears, I told you before. And the guy always had a gun with him. And we had no weapons with us, of course. And if you are standing somewhere alone and there is no guy with a gun, and the polar bear you maybe not see because he's,
blending to
camouflage,
snow,
can kill you there. He was very angry with me. I did not think about that even. So this is a totally different world. The people speaking Norwegian there, everything is in Norwegian. You feel somehow like it's in Europe, but it's wilderness, pure wilderness.
Wow, man.
It's really wilderness, and I did like.
What an experience.
It's really nice.
What an experience.
Another day we did do a boat trip. We wanted to visit a other Russian mining town, which is abandoned now, called Pyramiden. And we were stuck in the ice with the boat. The ice was too thick. So we were stuck with the boat in the ice, and we could leave the boat, and we were walking on the ice around the boat. I have this picture in my Facebook also about that. and it was like another world. You're there in the middle of this bay. It's ice everywhere. Some of the guys from the boat, they had their guns with them, and you were
like when you're in the moment, right? Not to think back, but when you were in the moment, was there fear?
no, I had not. I lost fear somehow. Some years ago, I had some experiences where I had much more fear some 20 years ago, 15 years ago. You lose it with traveling if you have some circumstances which are difficult and hard. And I was in a very big earthquake in Chile, 2010, which was really severe.
Mm-hmm.
The house where I was staying was shaking like hell. And somehow if you come over that, going through that things, this kind of experiences, then you're not so fearful anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
that time when I was in this place where the guy left and I was alone with the two girls, I felt somehow, what is when they not find me, I will die here,
Good.
probably.
But
At the same time, I was optimistic he will find.
it will be such a legendary death.
Yeah.
It's like
Beaten by a
people,
polar bear.
people back home in in your little village. What's your village's name?
It's called Neumarkt.
Okay, people in Neumarkt is gotta remember Patrik and going to
Lost in Svalbard.
asking ask your dad like how did Patrik die?
Nobody
Yeah,
knows.
eaten
Eaten
by
by a polar bear.
polar bear next to a Russian mining town.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's
I'm glad you made it, man.
yeah.
I'm glad you made it. But here's the thing, man. Like, was those kind of experiences? They're extreme. I was saying like normal people wouldn't encounter those kind of things just in their day to day, right? I never had a close to death experience.
Yeah.
Does that like numb your day to day life? Does it make you feel like, hey, those adventures are great? But
yes.
what about my daily life? Are you
I
like?
think it's making you somehow, in some kind of, it's making you more brave. You're not fear so much challenges. Like I told you before, when the micro was off about this bungee jumping,
Yeah.
you overcome your fears, and I think it is very maybe not for everybody. I can talk only about me.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know, other people maybe have another experience, but I was never a brave guy when I was younger. I always was more on the safety side, and I wanted to have safety and no risk, not too much risk.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, this event, when I jumped from that bridge, it was in South Africa, 2008, I think. It was 220 meters high bridge, and I saw this sign, the highest bridge in the world where you can jump off. And I know I never thought about bungee jumping before. I always was thinking I never do that. No, I'm not brave enough to do that. And that same morning, I thought I jumped from that bridge, and I was jumping down, and it changed for me really a lot from my personality. I was after thinking, okay, I can overcome this fear. I can take some risk, and I had a very good experience after.
Mm-hmm.
I felt so cool. I felt so good after that. That I got first time, maybe not first time in my life, but first time in with such a strong emotion, the feeling that if you overcome your fears, if you take some risks, you can have a big reward.
But Patrik, I'm really curious about this one thing. When you talk about fear, what are you fearful of? What are you scared of? Like back then?
Back then, to have to take a risk and after regret it badly, like to
For
do
the
something
consequence?
for the consequences. Like you do, for example, to leave a job. I had this job before,
Product manager?
product manager, and that time I was already not very happy with it anymore, but it was very well paid. It was good job. But to leave this job and to do something new, to try something new, I did already guide a little bit that time. I started, but it was just like
Side hustle.
sometimes, yeah. But to really quit the job, to tell, I quit this job, this well-paid job, and I try something very different, new. I was not ready for that.
So the scariest thing was uncertainty.
Yes. Also about my family, my parents. I didn't know when I do that, they will not understand, and they will try to convince me to do something to stay with my old life. But I jumped from that bridge, and it sounds maybe somehow silly, but for me, I know if I would not have jumped from that bridge that day, maybe I'm not here today. Because I did quit my job, I did do the new job. With the new job, I met my wife. And also to just leave Austria, to tell I leave that behind, all this good life, this big house, this big garden, the good income. My ex-wife had very good income. We had a good life, monetary-wise. Yeah, you know. I would still live there probably.
Yeah.
And my ex-wife was with me there in South Africa, and she was so surprised I did that. She did not. And I was going out to this bridge in that morning. We were a group of people. And I wanted to jump as the first one. And I was jumping as the first one. I was the first one jumping down. I thought, I won't be the first one. And she was so surprised. This guy who she already knowing 14 years or 13 years, no, jump from that bridge? Come on, what is that? I remember she was so surprised.
Back then she already knew. You're a changed person now.
But that is what I so often telling. I told this story many times already, because I think it was so important for me, and it is that what I can give some kind of advice for other people who have maybe this fear sometimes, especially who feel in their heart, I want to do something else, but I'm not brave enough to do it. I'm afraid of the consequences. To go out of this comfort zone is difficult, and it's really a challenge. But in my case, in my personal case at least, I had a very big reward. It changed my life, and it changed the kind of thinking about these things. And I'm really happy about it.
I can tell, man.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes imagine what life would be? You know,
yeah.
if you were following that track that you were supposed to be on?
No, actually no. I usually not imagining that.
Mm-hmm.
No, usually not think about that. No, I remember after school I should start working in a bank in my village.
Nice.
They wanted that I start there working with 19. Yeah. And the first time I did something a little bit out of the comfort zone was then when I told, no, I go to university. I was the first one in my family who went to university. I want to go to Vienna, and I want to stay there in a student house and live there. That was the first time, and it was already very good. I was sometimes thinking, what would happen if I would agree with that job offer and I would stay in my home village? And then I was thinking I would be probably the same like my friends who stayed there. I would have a different life, and I would not be happy, I'm sure.
I don't know.
No, I think so.
I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't have the comparison.
I can tell you, I started when I was 6 years old. I got an atlas, maps from my aunt from school, and I started to look at maps, and I was drawing places into the map which did not exist even. I wanted to explore that places.
Yeah.
So it started with that age. With same age, I got a globe from my father, and I started to read all the country names. I could not read that time, and I was like starting reading with that globe. I remember this China. It was already when I was a child, I wanted to explore the world. I'm 100% sure if I would stay in this village, I would always think I want to do something else. No, it's absolutely not possible. It is also how is your personality. Other people, like my brother, he's living in this village just 8-9 kilometers from the place where we were raised up. He's happy with his life. He like it. he's going to holidays all the time to the same place, not to the same places, but more or less to Mallorca or to Rhodes in Greece. He was once in China. He did not like it because it was too different. So I can speak only for me. But I tell, if people have this strong feeling, they want to do something else, they're not happy with the life they have now, and they are somehow afraid of doing something else because it could have bad consequences. Try to do it, not try, do it, because you will regret otherwise.
I think so too.
100% sure.
I really agree. I really agree.
And you even have obstacles, and you have bad times. Like now I have a really bad time about money. I don't earn anything.
You look like you're having a great time.
Exactly.
Why?
But yes, exactly. This is so funny because I told you I should have a bad time now, but I haven't. People are wondering about it. I don't know.
great sky with some wine, and it's a good time.
You have to use the time as good as possible, you know.
Trippy.
Always.
Very trippy. But I still see you traveling, even without the job. I still see you traveling around.
Yeah. Okay, I saved some money before a little bit.
Yeah.
So I can do that. And I try to travel. I was in Venice now, and I
was it just by yourself?
Yeah. And I traveled in Austria.
That's weird. You're just not doing it for a job. You're just still going on trips?
Sure, yeah.
Doing what? What are you doing there? I saw that picture of you in Venice. It's like, I've been there to that place last summer.
Yeah.
It was crowded. Yeah. Now it's looking pretty.
No.
And you were just there with your little self. Like, what are you doing there?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, like seriously, what were you doing there?
Checking it out.
Really? Just having fun?
Having a good time, yeah.
Huh. By yourself?
Yeah.
That's strange. It's not even holiday. Was it like a business trip? I'm looking for... Is it like one of those research trip where I'm gotta look for new places so in the future...
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Yeah. I was like, when I was checking out Ida Viruma, for example.
Yeah.
I did do it for myself, but I did also check it out because I was thinking I'd do an Estonia special tour. I wanted to do an Estonia special tour now in September, but it was cancelled due to these circumstances.
What do you mean specialty tour? Just in
it's only Estonia, because usually I do Baltic countries tours, like you combine all 3 Baltic states usually in a tour. Very few people are really interested because they don't know about the country, interested only in Estonia. It's hard to sell a tour only a round trip in Estonia, in Austria. Like it's hard to sell.
True.
But I did try to do it, and I had enough people for it.
Austrians?
Austrian. All of them who have been with me already somewhere, either in the Baltic states or some other place, and they said, okay, this guy is knowing Estonia and he will show us his second home, and we come with him. So I was checking out in Ida Viruma also those places because of that, and found some nice places to stay overnight. So I combine it sometimes. Also, when I was in Svalbard, I was thinking maybe I go once with a group there. I was in Faroe Islands last year with a friend.
Wow, I'm so jealous right now.
And I was there just on my own with my friend, and we had a great time. And I wanted to have a group tour this year with clients. It was already fixed that we do it. It was clear we will go to Faroe Islands, but Corona somehow
screwed everything.
Yeah, but next year I want to do that. So I combine sometimes that.
I mean, like, just going to Venice, like, oh man, it's kind of fun, like, because like I never. I'm not very good with traveling by myself. Yeah.
Oh, you always even if you're alone, you go with people. You always find somebody who you are, or you find people on your tours. When I was in South America, I was 3 months.
Yeah.
In South America. 2010. I was still married with this ex-wife, and I'd quit my job, and I told, now I go to South America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she was not so happy about that, of course, but I told her, it's my lifetime chance to do that. I want to do that, really. I would like to do that. And I bought a ticket to Montevideo in Uruguay
Nice.
and a return ticket from the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
And almost 3 months. And I thought, I want to see South America. So I was in Uruguay, and then I thought, what I do next? I go to Chile. Then I heard this earthquake. It was in this tour.
But it was also just yourself?
Yeah, alone. But I was not alone. That I wanted to tell. I always met people on the tour. I always I found friends there. One friend in Austria still I have, who I met in Chile in the same hostel where I was staying when this occurred. Usually you're not staying alone on a tour.
I see. Yeah, we're wrapping up, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. You have to go to the toilet, or you have to go?
Just a toilet break.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
That's fine.
Sure, go ahead. Like,
Okay.
I thought you have to go meet your friend.
No.
Let me know when you have to go. And yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, sure. It's right over there. If you go cross that door, and then on the left side, the first one. I mean, I kind of like an ending question, I guess, for our conversation. It has been 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not tired, but I think we need to find an end, even though we like each other so much. But it's time to end this episode. I got like a question for you. Like, do you still get this question these days? Like when people ask you, like, why are you here in Estonia?
Yeah, rarely. They asked more in the beginning.
Yeah.
Especially because people, I talk mostly about Austrians now, yeah?
Yeah.
They did not know much about the country. And for some people, it was, especially 2011-12 when I came here, it was somehow unknown territory. People did not learn, people in my age did not learn about this country in school because it was part of Soviet Union back then. I think younger people know more about it, but I was in school in the 80s. So that was not even an independent state at that time. So for many people in my age, my friends, then thought about it's ex-Soviet Union. It's somehow like Russia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think now it's better known. There are almost 10 years. It's much more in the media in a positive way, mostly Estonia.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in Austrian media, it's almost always positive. Almost always.
About Estonia.
About Estonia. It's mostly about this Erik, about this electronic things. Also about that it's one of the most...
electronic thing. What?
Yeah, I mean, electronic voting, that you can everything do with your ID card.
The
You don't
digital
have to go-
society.
Yeah, the digital society.
Mm.
It's very often in our media about that Estonia is like number one in this case, or one of the number one of the best countries. And the other thing is also that it is economically one of the best ex-communist countries.
Is it?
It is. I would say Slovenia is number one. Slovenia.
Mm-hmm.
But behind Slovenia, I would say Estonia. And conditions of living and everything.
Yeah.
So most of the time Estonia is really shown in our media in a positive way. And of course, those people who have been here already, and there are more and more Austrians who have been there, who have been here, they're talking about Estonia and the Baltic states in home, so it's better known now than back 2011. So those questions, why, what the heck are you doing in Estonia?
Doesn't show up
not
that much.
so much. Not much. If they're coming, then it's more about the weather. But it's so cold there, and it's like a so long winter, and more about that. And this is really also for me. This is a little bit of a challenge sometimes.
The weather.
Yeah.
In the winter.
Yeah. I mean, I'm lucky because I travel even in wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
But if I think like this year, I would have to stay all the time here without the possibility to travel, and have now already starting autumn, and it's getting cold and cooler.
I really
and
feel
rainy.
it. Yeah.
And I think it's continuing like that until April. Then I really think it's difficult, you know.
That's my life.
Yeah, that those questions come sometimes,
Yeah.
but otherwise, no, not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Less than 10 years ago.
I guess so. Like I get asked still all the time because I don't know. People expect me to say something. I don't know. When they ask this question, it's normally, for me at least, it's coming from foreigners and Estonians. They normally expect me to have like a very good reason.
Yeah.
A very good reason. Like normal reason wouldn't be good enough for them. It's
Yeah.
like, why are you here? They expect something that is super important. Let's say,
Like my girlfriend
yeah,
is living here.
yeah, or
Yeah.
even girlfriend is not going to. You better be married. That's why you're here. If you're not, like, why don't you go back to live in your country? You know, take the girl and whatever. But it must be a really good reason. Like, I married a girl who can't move away. That's why we're stuck here.
But it's good because mostly when people ask me about it, those are more Estonian people who are asking why you not move to Austria.
Yeah.
Like because
Better
I heard
life.
this question sometimes because Estonians thinking, okay, in Austria everything is so good, their income is higher, and the country is beautiful, and so on. So they are asking more often than Austrians, for example, asking why you are in Estonia.
Because it's like mind-boggling for them. Like, why wouldn't you choose a better place to live?
But what is a better place? You know, this
That's
can change in life.
That's really true. What is a better place? Like I never figured this out. Like I don't think. Here's the thing. Like whenever people ask me like this question, do you like Estonia? It's man, I hate this question. I hate this question because there's no correct answer for it. I can't say I don't like it because they will get offended.
Yeah.
And I can't say I like it because it wouldn't be true. Like, I don't like a place. Like,
Yes.
it's just a place. If I'm here, I'm here not for a reason. I don't think I have a why. I'm just here. And I'm trying to make the best out of it.
Yeah. I would say I can tell if I like a place or not. But actually, if I think, I like most places I have been. Most, not all. Some I like more, some are less. But I would say if somebody asked me, do you like Estonia? I would tell yes.
Yeah.
Apart some things.
Mm-hmm.
Like the weather in spring, early spring, like in April or October. I don't like it. And some other things I don't like. But generally I would say, yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, it was a pleasure talking to you. I really like this.
It was a pleasure for me as well.
Patrik, thank you for coming on to the podcast. It's episode number 10. You're the 2-digit crew now, the first one.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully it's gotta be more from here.
Should be 100 in the end, yeah.
Should be. Let's see if I can find 100 people here to talk to me. Not everybody's gotta be like, yeah, let's do it. Why not? Most people are like, I don't know. It's really hard. Sometimes you have to hunt them down. And so far I have no luck in finding a girl to come to the podcast.
No girl.
0 girls. Only guys.
Oh, really?
Yes. I want to find a Estonian stripper to come to the show to talk to me. I'm looking hard, but it's
because they're so shy. How many Estonians have been here in the podcast? I saw the one guy who is like half Estonian, half Ghanaian.
Yeah. So far it's 50-50, I'll say.
Yeah.
Half of the guesses. I'm not trying to find Estonian or foreigner, but it happens that way. Yeah. Sometimes I meet foreigners, sometimes I meet locals. But thank you so much, Patrik. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for inviting.
Thank you very much. It was great. Never
Thanks.
Off the Boat, episode number 10, signing off.